So if you like the paranormal, this is a word I have no doubt you've heard. Pareidolia. I decided that I would take a light-hearted look at pareidolia. This isn't to prove a point or disprove. This isn't skeptical. This isn't because I'm a believer. This is just a light-hearted look at it. Okay, so let's take a look at the definition of pareidolia. The psychological phenomenon that causes some people to see or hear a vague or random image or a sound as something significant is known as pareidolia. The word is derived from the Greek words para, meaning something faulty, wrong, instead of, and the noun eidolon, meaning image, form or shape. Pareidolia is a type of apophenia, which is a more generalised term for seeing patterns in random data. Okay then, let's get to the fun stuff. Do you imagine Mother Teresa? She's got up to the pearly gates and she's met by St. Peter. St. Peter addresses her and says, "Mother Teresa, for all your charity work that you did, for the healing and the helping of the poor, sick and infirmed, we've decided that you can have one chance to contact the people on earth, to leave them a message, to give them hope." Mother Teresa stands there and ponders this for a moment and says, "I've got it, St. Peter. I know exactly what I want to do." St. Peter says, "Great, Mother Teresa, and how is it that you're going to prove all your love, hope and support for the people back on earth?" Mother Teresa looks up at St. Peter and says, "I've decided the best way to do it is to put my image on a cinnamon bun." St. Peter looks at her and says, "Really, Mother Teresa, you think that's the way to go?" "Definitely, St. Peter, definitely." Well, I bet that got a few looks, don't you? Okay, so this one's a little more serious. The Turin Shroud. In my opinion, it is the biggest piece of pareidolia in history. Now, that's not to say that it wasn't used as a shroud. That's not to say it wasn't used in the time of Jesus, because recent studies have shown that the original scientific experiments done on the shroud were wrong. The shroud has now been dated from around 280 BC to AD 220. This means it did exist during Jesus' lifetime. Does that mean it was Jesus's? No, it could have been a lot of people's. The pareidolia part comes into play is where people say on the shroud they see signs of crucifixion in the hands, in the feet and in the side. To me, people see the signs of crucifixion in the shroud because they believe it is what Jesus was buried in. So therefore, they are looking for that pattern, looking for that data. So they see signs in the hands, feet and the sides. That is pareidolia. So let's get back to the fun stuff. Jesus and God are sat down and they're having a conversation. And Jesus turns round to God and he says, "Dad, I've decided how I'm going to approach the second coming, what I'm going to do." God said, "Oh good, it's nearly that time, so how are you going to do it? How are you going to announce to the world, to all our loved ones on earth, that you're coming back to save them?" Jesus looked up at his dad and said, "Well, I've decided the best way to go about it is to put my face on some toast." God looked down at Jesus and said, "Sorry, what did you say?" "Toast, Dad, toast. Come on, everybody eats toast. It's got to be the way to go, hasn't it?" I'm a believer in the paranormal. I believe in spirits and ghosts and in an afterlife. What I don't believe in is 99% of the pictures that I see. I believe a large percentage of those are pareidolia. It could be a chemical reaction in whatever wood it is. It could be the dye of the wood. It could be a smudge on a mirror. It could be a light bouncing off a mirror. It could be a flash on a camera. It could be a camera malfunction. There are so many things that it could actually be. I don't think that all these people are lying when they post these pictures on the internet. I do believe that for the most part, people do believe they've caught a ghost or a spirit on camera or on video. The problem is with that, they post it up without investigating the picture first. Okay, so I'm going to close the video out on this. The next time you see a piece of wood and you see a strange looking face in it, don't automatically assume it's a ghost or even a demon. Don't think it's your great-granddad come back to give you a message. Don't think it's your ex-wife's grandfather come back to defend her honour. The chances are it's a piece of wood that's having a chemical reaction. Or it's a light, or it's the shadow hitting it and it's how you've took the photograph. Could even be a camera malfunction. Maybe just look at it for a second. Take your time and realise that sometimes things just look weird.